Wow, this is magical.
Finding messaging, how to reach your target client can be a real struggle. Today I had a metaphor session with Egle, really smart, intelligent woman who's building her own business, and she was in a bit of a place where she was stuck. Just everything in front of her just seemed so big. Now, it's not necessarily an elephant in the room, but enjoy the watch. We can do two things. We can just look at your business as a whole, or we can look at if there's a specific challenge you're facing, and we could maybe look at that afterwards. Would you like to look at the challenge as well as the business as a whole? Yes. Cool.
I would like to look at the challenge, but I'll give a bit of background for the business as a whole.
Cool. I don't want the background. Okay. So what I want you to do is I just
Uh,
the whole business, what's that like?
the whole business, what's that like?
Yeah.
So what I do is it's an
No, I don't
online.
want to know what you do. I want to know what it's like.
In which way would you like to hear? Is it like the type of clients or the?
Just what it's like. Like, for example, some people it's like, well, I deliver a message to people. For some people it's like I'm taking people on a journey.
Ah,
What's it like for you?
right. Okay. So I would say I guide people to transform their life,
Okay. So you
and I
guide.
focus on the financial aspect, but it's really the person that transforms, but my angle is related with the financial well-being,
Okay,
financial
cool.
and emotional freedom, really.
Cool. And what's that whole thing like?
What an interesting questions you are asking. So the whole thing is like it's an online
No,
business.
but that's how you conduct it in real life. I don't want to know that. I want to know what it's like.
What's the transformation?
Well, yeah, what's that whole thing like?
So there are three aspects to it, I would
Okay,
say.
you're going to tell me the structure of what you do in the process. I don't want to know that either. I want to know what it's like. So you say it's like you're
How
guiding
does it
people.
how
It's like
does
you're
it
guiding
feel?
people. No, I don't want to know that either. I want to know what it's like. So you say it's like you're guiding people to their transformation, correct? So
Yes.
where are the people relative to you? Are they behind you, in front of you, right, left? These people that you're guiding, where are they?
Right. So, oh wow, I love your question. So this is excellent. So there are some nuances. It's like we are side by side.
Okay, cool. Are you to the right or to the left?
Wow. Wow, this is interesting. It's like I am behind their back.
Okay, so you're behind them. Okay, cool. What's to your right? Oh no, what's to your left?
Like, you mean like objects or?
Yeah, what's to your left?
All right, okay. So the way I see it's like they're walking the path and it's it like the fields or the forests, I don't know, the landscape.
Is it a field or is it a forest? Your
Uh
left. To your left, what's there?
Forest
Okay, so there's a forest to the left. What's to the right?
and the field on the right.
Okay, cool. And what's behind you?
It's the path they walked with. They
Okay,
walked somehow. Well, it's interesting there because there is my path and their path, and I feel like I'm not directly behind the back. I'm a bit like above somehow because I have more of a view. It's like I'm in the helicopter.
okay, cool. So there's forest to your right, fields to your left. Behind you is the path they have walked. So it's their path. Okay. And they're in front. How far in front are they?
So I feel like we're really close, but I am more above so that I have more view.
What are you standing on?
It's more like a flight, a helicopter or something.
So
Uh,
you're in a helicopter?
yeah,
Okay, so are you sitting or standing in a helicopter?
I'm sitting. It's a relaxed position to be in. Yeah.
Never drawn a helicopter in metaphor. This will be a first. Okay, cool. Is there glass in between you and the person because you're in the helicopter?
No.
So it's like more like a frame helicopter.
It's like yes, it's like I'm something have something tight on my back so that I'm flying, but there is no distance. Like we're somehow we can talk,
Okay,
we can hear, we
okay,
can
okay,
touch
cool.
almost.
So, are you in a helicopter or do you have a helicopter style backpack?
Yeah, so now when you keep asking like that, it's not a helicopter really. I would say it's more like you know when like a paper airplane kind of thing and then you're hanging under. So I have some kind of wings that take me above.
Okay, so you have. Let me just redraw this because my helicopter sucked. Okay,
Sorry.
cool. No, 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 no.
I
It's
know.
gonna happen. Okay, so it's like there's a paper aeroplane up in the air,
Yes.
and there's strings attaching you to the person. You to the paper aeroplane.
Me to the paper airplane, yes.
Okay, cool. I've never drawn a paper aeroplane before either. So, where are the strings attached to the paper aeroplane?
So my back, I would say, like the backpack, like the shoulders,
So,
something
are
like
you wearing a backpack?
that. It feels like a backpack, but it's the like the wings of the airplane.
Okay, so okay. I'll see if I can. I'll draw this as best as possible. So, can you move your hands without influencing the aeroplane?
Oh yeah,
Okay, cool. So essentially, it's sort of attached around your shoulders to the aeroplane.
yes.
Cool, and you can move your hands. And are you standing on the ground, or are you above the ground?
So I'm flying, yes.
How high above the ground are you?
Well, I would say this is interesting. I feel it really depends.
Okay,
So
cool.
I can be
Okay,
really close to the person, but also I can rise up quite high to give perspective if needed, to
got
take
you,
a look what's around if needed.
got you. Cool, cool. Okay. So what we've got is we've got you, the person's in front of you. Behind them is the path that the client has walked. To your left is a forest. To your right is a field. And above you is sort of like a paper aeroplane that you're attached to.
Yes.
Lovely. Cool. Let's come to now the problem you've been facing. That whole problem, what's that like?
Yes. This is excellent. So this gives excellent context to a problem. So I feel that the work is so big. It's like the elephant, the whole elephant. It's bigger than I can at the moment put words to.
Okay,
And
what's to your left?
what's on my left?
Yeah, it's like the whole elephant. What's to your left?
Oh, wait, but the question, my problem is the messaging. So the words that I say.
No, no, no. It's like a
Oh,
whole elephant. That's what it's like. What's to your left?
okay. So I feel like his tail is on the left.
Okay, so there is actually an elephant. So the elephant's tail's on your left. What's on your right?
So there is the tail, and then it's his
So there's an elephant in front of you.
he's in front, yes. And
Okay.
it's very big, much bigger than I am, or I can't even see the top of it yet.
Okay, you can't even see the top of the elephant. So would you so if you're looking at elephant size, is this like a three, four times elephant? Like how big is this elephant?
I can actually not say how big it is. That's how big it is.
Okay, cool. So you can't see the top.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So to the left is the tail, to the right is the trunk. What's behind you?
What's behind me? I actually don't know.
We'll take a look. What's there?
It's like savanna or something,
Okay,
grass,
cool.
field of grass.
Grass, savannah. What are you standing on?
Stone, sand and stone.
Cool. What's up?
Blue skies, the sun.
Cool. And you said to the right was the tail. Anything else to the? Oh, no, to the left was the tail. Anything else to the left?
There are some trees, like those savanna trees, the flat ones with the. Yeah.
Cool. And look to your right.
I feel like there is a river.
And is the river going from in front to behind, or is it going which direction?
So if a trunk is here, the river goes, like the elephant is looking at the river. The river goes uh, from
Cool.
forward to back.
It goes from forward to back, so the flow is that way. Okay, cool. Cool. So there's my ginormous elephant. There's you. So in front of you is a ginormous elephant. You can't even see the top. To your left is a savanna. To your right is a river. To your behind is a green savanna or a grass savanna. Question: is the elephant ginormous or are you small? Or is it a bit of both? Are you like compared to the rest of the environment? How are you compared to that?
No, I feel like I am my size,
Okay, cool,
but
great.
the elephant is really, it's so much bigger than I am.
How do you deal with this in real life? In real life, how do you deal with this?
Uh-huh. So it's taking one step at a time. Yes.
Is that what you tell yourself? Take one step at a time.
So how do
What
I
do you do?
deal with
With a
this?
huge elephant, what do you do?
Can you repeat the
Procrastinate.
question?
What do you do in real life? To cope with this situation, what do you do?
Ah,
Some people like procrastinate, some
oh,
people
right.
want to get overwhelmed and go for a walk. What do you do? How do you deal with this
Well,
in real life?
I would explore. I would actually touch the skin of the elephant. I'll try to explore what I
Okay,
have in
okay.
front of me.
Do you have an elephant in your back garden?
No,
You don't actually touch the elephant. So in real life, what do you do?
but what do you mean? I don't have an elephant.
Yeah. But that's what it's like, right? So this whole situation, this problem, how do you do? What do you
Yes.
do in real life when it comes to this problem? Procrastinate, worry, overthink. What do you do in real life?
Ah, right. So it's a self-reflection question, right? It's not what I would do, but what do I
What
normally
you
do
actually do? What are you actually doing regarding this problem?
right now?
Yeah, what do you do?
So what I feel like is happening right now, it's that I am freeze is not the right word, but overwhelm is also not the right word. So I feel like I am somehow it's blocking my movement. I'm like moving a little bit, but I can't. Um,
So what do you actually do? You don't get overwhelmed. You just do nothing. What do you do?
oh, so what I'm actually doing is I'm looking for answers.
Looking for answers, like the good spiritual teachers. Looking
Well,
for
I'm looking
answers.
for answer. Okay, now I'm got it. So I'm looking for guides all around me to
That's,
help me find the answers right now.
oh, so you're using spiritual guides as well. So you use the spirit guides. God, love us. God, love.
In human form, and also I like so I ask like when you offered this call, I feel like I started asking myself a question: what is my question for today? And when I ask these questions, I'm starting to get answers. So I'm questioning myself and I'm looking around for the answers to emerge.
Hmm, got you.
And I'm
So
asking for help also, yes.
so maybe I'll give you clarity. Maybe I won't. I'm not going to promise anything. So let's go back to your whole business. So essentially, in this business, you're looking for people that are on a path. You're looking for people that are on a journey.
Yes.
Now, you don't necessarily know where their journey ends, but you know they're on a path. You know they've come from somewhere and they're taking steps moving forward. Now, what's left for them is quite natural. There's definitely something that they can explore that's left that's quite grown. And what's right for them is grown. So you're looking for someone who's in a natural environment, but also taking steps. Because the interesting thing about somebody being on a path is
Adele, the sound quality just dropped. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
no worries, no worries.
Now it's
Then
good. You're back. Yes.
no, it's good. So essentially, you're looking for people who are taking steps on their own path,
Yes.
and to be honest, you've got their back.
Yes.
You can push them forward, but also you can go to greater heights to get an overview. Essentially, you're looking in a position where you can give them direction. You can tell them what's ahead. You can help them predict what's going to come on their path.
Yes.
So if you're looking for an ideal client, metaphorically speaking, you're potentially looking for people who are taking steps. They might know what's directly ahead, but they don't see the longer term.
Yes.
But for you to get that, you need to elevate your stuff.
Yes.
Now, what's quite potentially concerning is you're looking to elevate yourself with a paper aeroplane.
Yes.
So what this potentially tells me is you've clearly got a mechanism that allows you to elevate yourself to go up, to get a better viewpoint, to see the bigger picture. But a paper aeroplane is reliant on the environment that you're in. There needs to be a certain updraft. Esoterically, I know you're into spirituality, so esoterically, air is normally about intellect, the thing. So there needs to be enough sort of intellectual energy to lift you up to see the bigger picture. But yeah, you're reliant on the external environment to give you that information. Because if I'm thinking about it, right, to get data, to get information on somebody's finances, you need the data to give you the perspective.
Well, yes, but that data, I work with energy and intuitive information. So what you said is right, but information comes to me. So I rely on the environment because I absorb information from the environment.
Cool. So another consideration is what's interesting about this is there are some pros and cons for you in this relationship because
Yes.
you are reliant on the atmosphere to propel yourself. You're not like your client because your client is actively taking steps in your business, their business. You're not because you're just a little bit up in the air. Nothing necessarily wrong with that, but you're using something else to propel you forward. So, from a client's perspective, what you're looking for is you're looking for a client who can take steps themselves, who knows where they're going short term. You've got their back. They look up to you in a little bit in this position, but also they've turned their back on you a little bit. They put themselves first, and you're just in the background. There's nothing wrong with that. So, that's how I potentially see your business.
This is very interesting. So this is what I do because it's not about me, but it's about me giving them information about the path they're on. And also, it's true because, like, when I work in energy with energy in the subconscious, we're dealing with their situations. So indeed, uh, in that sense, they're not looking at me. Like you say, I'm a little bit above, but it's not like they're facing me. They're looking at their own path. That's exactly the way you put it. That's exactly how it is.
Now, let's come to your problem. Huge fucking elephant. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, or not quite in the room. So, what's quite interesting is the environment you're in is quite barren. It's quite broad. There's a lot of space in the environment you're in. Now, the right thing has a flow to it. The right thing for you does have a flow, but it's flowing in the opposite direction to the direction you look forward to. Now, if you were to take a step in the right direction and you were to jump right in, you could find yourself going with the flow, but you'd be going in the opposite direction to the direction you're currently looking forward to. Now, what's left for you is quite natural, but also quite barren. But what's really interesting is what the fell's in front of you. So, what's in front of us is what we look forward to. So, what you look forward to is fucking huge. Some might say what you look forward to and what's directly in front of you is maybe a bit blown out of proportion, but also it's stopping you from progressing.
This is exactly what it is. Voila.
And what's interesting about it, so in metaphor, in autogenic metaphor, Size directly relates to importance. Size relates to importance. You've made that fucking elephant huge.
And it is for me. It's people's lives. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you talked about this as like your wording or like your structure or like finding your languaging, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've made that massive.
Yes. 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 Exactly
You
what's
can't
happening
see
now.
that
Yeah.
you can't see the top of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's stopping you from progressing, going anywhere because you're just so confounded by this huge thing.
Yes. Exactly.
So
Yes.
let's just imagine, Egle, you and I are walking down a strange road and we see this woman standing next to this fucking huge elephant. River to the right, Savannah trees to the left, green Savannah behind. Don't worry, we've seen this before. We know how to deal with this problem. Just look and ask more questions. Good advice.
Y- Yeah. But what caught my attention is that there is a stream of river next to me, and somehow it feels that it's going the opposite direction. So there is something there. I feel like I'm looking the wrong way. That's how it feels like right now when I see
Well,
this.
well, possibly because what's interesting, if you think about your clients are on a path. They've got a direction. They know where they're going, at least in the short term. There's no path here. There's no direction.
Exactly. So that elephant is the thing that I don't know how their lives looks like. So how can I talk about where the path will lead? This is my elephant, but there is some a mistake in somewhere I've made a mistake in thinking.
Well, let's just imagine. Yeah, just ask more questions. Is that good advice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look
I
the
think
other way. It feels like more of a.
well,
All
it
right.
could be an option, and we could explore that. The big difference is you want to ask more questions, but you can't even see the top of this elephant. So my hallucination is you could just keep asking questions. And what's interesting is if we look, I mean, I'm not so much of a question answerer within personal development. I think it adds a lot of value, but I'm more of an interventionalist. Questions to elicit potential problems. But like you, like Nejma, you could ask questions and reflect on lots of different shit. That's just not how I roll. There are pros and cons to those things. So let's just try something, Egle. So just close your eyes for a minute. So standing there, huge fucking elephant in front of you, river to the right, Savannah tree to the left, green Savannah behind. Just take a step to your left and tell me what you notice.
Turn left and tell you what I
Just
noticed, right?
take a step to your left and tell me what you notice.
Oh, in the left, there is so much space and so much freedom. I got myself stuck, my nose stuck in something. I'm just busy with the wrong thing. Yeah.
And what happens?
So when I look to the left, there is so much space and freedom opens up.
And how does that change things?
I can explore, I can move, I can play, but this freedom, it's still open space, so it's still something that feels a bit like elephant. It's overwhelming,
Let's
but
listen. Go back to the
but
original position. Go back to the original position and now take a step forward and tell me what you notice.
so left and then forward, right?
Yeah, just go back to the original position and
Ah,
take a step
okay.
forward and tell me what you notice.
So towards the elephant.
Yeah. And tell me what you notice.
Ah, the closer to the elephant I am, the bigger it is.
And what happens?
So more confusion. It's like I'm getting blind because the closer I'm to elephant, the less I see.
And how does that change things?
Well, I realized that I was looking at the wrong place. I have to like take my airplane and move a little bit out and backwards.
Okay, go back to the original position and
Yes.
then take a step back and tell me what you notice.
Sorry, the sound went off a little bit. Can you say one more
Take a
time?
step back and tell me what you notice.
Oh, yeah. So the more back I move, the smaller the elephants becomes, and the more I can see.
And what happens?
Mm, I feel like I want to go even some steps backwards, so then I can see the whole elephant.
And how does that change things?
I realized that elephant is quite boring, actually. I don't know what am I doing with this elephant to begin with.
Go back to the original position and take
Yes.
a step to the right and tell me what you notice.
I like water a lot. I feel like I want to go to the river. Yes.
And what happens?
So what I in the river I feel flow, there is energy, there is this like uh I feel like it's a source of energy, and if I would step into the river, it would take me somewhere. I don't know where, but I love it.
And how does that change things?
There is movement.
Okay, and let's just try something else. Go back to the original position and
Yes.
turn around 180 degrees and tell me what
Yes.
you notice.
So I noticed that I've gotten myself stuck with a problem while there are I could mhm, I could go into flow, enjoy the process if I look to another side.
And what happens?
Uh-huh. So what happens is that I have to do that. I have to make that step.
And how does that change things?
Uh-huh. So there comes a lot of it's like the flow takes me with a river. There is I've been putting so much effort to something while I can just step into the flow.
Cool. Feel free to open your eyes and come back to the room.
Wow, this was magical.
Good fun, right?
Wow, this was really magical. Wow.
Well, what's also interesting, so if we look at the potential overwhelm or challenges, this is an overwhelming concept, right? The savannah is overwhelming. Now, we talk about paths. Paths represent guidelines. It's almost like rules that we follow, but not as strict. So let's just imagine you take a course or whatever. You follow the guidelines and you'll get to the outcome, right? Now, what's interesting is the river goes from point A to point B. So, as much as you could potentially go in it, you could immerse yourself in the flow. Or even if you just walked alongside it, it would give you a guideline, it would give you a potential direction. And
Exactly.
what do we know exists on rivers? Civilization and people. So, if you're to take steps along that, there's a high likeliness that you're going to find people that
In
get
the river,
benefit from that,
yes.
get benefit from that flow.
I've been looking at the wrong place. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. This is magical.
That was interesting, wasn't it? So if you enjoyed this, do like, do subscribe, and if you're interested in learning about metaphors of movement, as always, there's a link in the description. Catch you at the next one. Keep taking steps.